Once you've identified some hazards on site, you then need to decide what you're going to do about them. Now you have the option of either getting rid of them completely or managing them so that you minimise the risk the hazard presents. Most hazards that you identify on your work site are not likely to be able to be eliminated completely because a lot of them involve the work and activities you're going to have to do anyway. What you have to then put into place for those that have to stay on the site while you're working are what is called controls. These are the things that you apply to the hazard to reduce the risk or bring the risk down. In your work kit folder, you'll find, if you turn in past the instruction pages, past the emergency plan, you'll find a hazard register. The hazard register in your work kit folder will cover 90% of the hazards you're going to meet on your work site as a property maintenance contractor. In the hazard register, you'll see it lists the hazard, the harm that that hazard can cause, and then the controls that need to be put into place to bring the risk of that harm happening to an acceptable level. We're going to show you a little bit more about how a hazard register works later on in another video. There is a second way though that you can also decide what to do about hazards you identify in the workplace. And this comes into place if the hazard is not listed in your work kit folder. What you need to do then is go across the back to your forms and resources and you'll come across a job safety analysis. Now this is a little bit harder. You have to do some work to work out what the controls are. We're going to show you how to do that in another later video too. But those are two things that you can do to decide how you're going to manage the hazards in your workplace when you identify them. The first thing is to go to the hazard register and identify the controls specific to that hazard. The second thing would be to do a job safety analysis.